You fill in that bucket. Good job, August. An orchid? Yeah. Hey guys, it's Jessica at Seeds and Sanity. So I wanted to make a really short video and talk to you guys a little. Sorry, it's really sunny. It is a beautiful day, another absolutely stunning day. And it's my favorite time of year in Florida because it's really warm during the day. So the kids and I had our swimsuits on, we were washing our camper. Getting ready to go camping this weekend, and then it's like perfect swimsuit time for working in the backyard. So yeah, sorry about the sunglasses, but gotta protect my eyes. Anyway, I wanted to just talk to you real quick a little bit about, actually I'm gonna put my hat on too. Y'all know my hat. It's my favorite gardening hat because it's big, but man, this hat's been through some stuff. I think all of my kids have crunched it, my dogs have crunched it, whatever. I wanted to talk to you today about composting. We, being a totally new homestead, are really quite new to composting. I used to have a compost pile that was basically just a heap in the corner of my backyard. And which is fine. That's a fine way to do it. But that was kind of years ago, and I really didn't have a goal in mind when I did it, other than maybe if I toss these, kitchen scraps outside, some little critter will be able to eat them, or they'll, feed the worms in the yard, or something to that effect. Now with composting, I actually have a goal. So setting up my gardens, I have had to actually buy compost to put in because I haven't had any of my own, and that's not super cost effective. Hi, I have chickens at my feet. Hi ladies, hello. So the next step in our trying to become a little more self-sufficient is to compost. So we have just gotten started this past weekend with setting up our compost bin. My air conditioner just clicked on. That might be kind of loud in the video. Hang on one sec, guys. I'm gonna turn you off and turn that off and turn you back on. Give me a sec. Okay, that's better. That'll be quieter. Anyway, so we are, oh, there's some of the chickens. Hi, girls. Those are our little girls. That one right there is Sunny Golden. And then next to her is Blue Golden, which Mason named. And the other one right there, she doesn't have a name quite yet. But those are our little girls because that's our second grouping of chicks that we got. Anyway, I'm getting way far off. So composting. I wanted to start composting so that we can have our own compost to put in our gardens, and I can stop buying it from other people or from the store. So I wanted to get on and talk to you guys about it really quick. Composting is super simple. There's tons of great reasons why you should compost. It has a lot of benefits for the garden. Composting is going to improve your soil structures. It's going to improve the water retention. Here in Florida, we have a lot of sandy soil, so water retention is going to be improved by adding that organic matter to your sandy soil. It's also going to help balance the pH in our soil. It's going to nourish the microbes and all those good bacteria and things living in the ground. It's going to bring some extra micronutrients to our plants. It's just going to help support healthier soil, alive soil, and healthier plants all the way around. Benefits beyond just for our garden are huge. So much of what's in our landfills is food waste, and a lot of that food waste could be composted. And if we could all just compost our scraps at home, that would keep a lot of stuff out of the landfills. And it could benefit all of our yards and landscapes in the process. So we're keeping some things out of the landfills. In doing that, we're helping to keep some of the greenhouse gases down, and methane from the landfills. It's just anything we can do to reuse, to recycle, to keep things out of the landfills is always a good thing. So what can we compost? I'm going to keep this video short and sweet for you. A couple things. Number one, we're talking about decaying stuff, right? Plan where you're going to put it. If you have a sunny location, put it in a sunny location. You can buy those big enclosed tumblers. You can get the plastic bins. There's lots of ways to do it. You can do it with worms. We're not doing that right now. What we have is just a big plastic bin that we were given by a friend of ours. Some of the cities, especially where we live here, Hillsborough and Pinellas County, both had composting programs, and you could get a free composting bin from your solid waste for your county. So check that out too. You might call your county and see if they have those programs. But we are just doing a basic bin method. We're rotting stuff to make compost, so it doesn't need to be fancy. If you're someone who wants to have the really pretty expensive bin, that's great, but you don't need it. You can take a couple pallets and screw them together. All you're really trying to do is keep the things that you're putting in somewhat contained. The open pile works out just fine if you don't want any structure at all. You could take some old chain link fence that you might have and make a circle out of it and use some twist ties to keep it together. You can do that with any kind of metal fencing. Again, we're just trying to make a containment unit. If you can put it in a sunny location, that's great because extra heat is gonna just make the process go faster. You hear a lot about hot composting. That's great. It makes it go really quick. It kills off any disease or weed seeds that may be getting into your piles, so it can really help with that. But hot composting, which would be to keep your compost at, I think it's like 120 or 140 degrees or higher, but it's not necessary. Composting itself, the breaking down of the material, is going to happen at any temperature over 40 degrees. So the way you're going to keep it hot and the way you're going to keep that all working well, even in cooler weather, is if you can put it in sun, and to make sure that you're balancing your browns, which are your carbon-rich materials, and your greens. It's not rocket science. There are some basic ratios. Some people will tell you need to layer it. Layering itself isn't really necessary. You can mix it all up. It's not a big deal. The only reason they tell you to layer it is basically so that you can make sure that you're getting about the right recipe of making sure that you have enough browns to your greens. So what are our browns? What are our carbon-rich things? So that's going to be things like cardboard, and you do want to try to use cardboard that is clean, that doesn't have a bunch of dyes and pictures on it. So if you can cut out that, that'd be great. You can use corn stalks, leaves. If you live in Florida, you know our leaves don't come down in the fall. So it's mid-March, and my oak tree up there and my one in the back of my property, they just dumped their leaves about 3 weeks ago. So we have plenty of leaves right now. It's a great time to start a compost pile in Florida. So you can use leaves, you can use newspaper, sawdust, straw, twigs, any of that kind of stuff is going to be your carbon. Then you get into your nitrogen, and that's going to be things like your food scrap waste. So when you're cutting up your vegetables at home or fruits and you cut the tops off those strawberries, right now it's prime strawberry picking season down here. So if you're cutting those green tops off your strawberries, or maybe you picked way too many on your outing and you didn't use all of them and you didn't freeze them and they're starting to go bad, because I've done that a few times, you can toss those out there in the compost bin. So any kind of kitchen food waste like that, any type of fruit and vegetable waste like that is good. Grass clippings, manures. We have chickens, so I'll probably include our chicken waste in there, which I line their stuff with a pine sawdust. So that's perfect. That's compostable too. That'll go in there as well. Vegetable scraps, weeds, coffee grounds, your used coffee grounds, put those in your compost pile. Those are great. If you don't drink coffee, I don't drink coffee. My husband does, but I don't. If you don't drink coffee, most of your coffee shops, including even the Starbucks inside my Target store, actually, why am I talking with my hands so much? Let me put that thing down. The Starbucks in my Target store bags their grounds, and puts them in a little basket, and it says grounds for your, I'm doing it again. It says grounds for your garden. Anything like that can go in there. So little twigs from your trees, garden waste when you're trimming back any of your plants, you can put those in there. Again, just Keep in mind, you don't want to put anything with disease and bugs in there, especially if you're not going to monitor and make sure you're getting a hot compost system. If it's in Florida and your pile's in the sun, it's probably going to go hot. You just want to make sure you're keeping enough carbon and enough greens, nitrogens. So you need that carbon to make sure you're heating it up. So don't go out there throwing, all your kitchen scraps in for like a month and never throw some leaves in there. You gotta throw some extra browns in there. So toss your newspaper in there, toss some cardboard in there to make sure you keep that balance. So that's really all I have to say about composting. You can buy very fancy bins, like I said. If you want to be checking the temperature, they do sell compost thermometers. I think I have one actually. It's just a really long, it looks like the thermometer you stick in a turkey almost, but it's super long, like 2 feet or so you can stick it down into the middle of your thing. Anyway, I'm going to take you in the back and show you our compost bin. And I don't think I have anything to put in it right now, but I am going to be cleaning out my chicken coop later, so soon I will have some things. But that's it. You should be composting. We should all be composting. It's a great way to help our garden, to help the environment, and to keep some crap out of the landfill. Ugh. Anything we can do for that is great. If you are into recycling, if you're trying to repurpose and reuse things, repurpose and reuse those kitchen scraps and help your soil in the process. So let's head out back. I'll show you our bin. Good work, guys.
Looks like we got all of our leaves, don't we, Mama?
We do. How's it looking in there? Do we even get the bottom covered yet? It's getting there.
Can I get up and in?
No, we can't get in there.
Why?
It's a beautiful day. I guess no one's really seen the very back of our property before, so we back up to a little tiny finger that comes off of Tampa Bay. All right, so it's super windy. I don't really know if we're gonna get the ability to do a good video, but we are starting our compost bin today. That is what we are doing. The kids.
Mama, I love this windy day.
I love this windy day too. So hold on, Augie. Wait. You're gonna drop most of them on the way there. Put them back. Put him back in the... Okay, fine. Get him in there. You get it. You're just going to get a face full. Good job. Why don't you bring the wheelbarrow a little closer, August? Bring the wheelbarrow closer to the thing. So we are starting our compost bin. We are filling it with the required browns and greens. For our browns, we're just using some dead leaves and clippings from the yard. And for our greens, we have our kitchen scraps and some healthy leaves that we had trimmed off of our plants when we were harvesting broccoli yesterday. So obviously we don't want to put any diseased or pest-ridden leaves from the garden in here, but this is all good, clean stuff. So we're going to just layer our browns and our greens in our compost bin, and that's it. That's the day's activity. So other than that, oh, what am I talking about, the day's activity? Sevy, what are you doing today?
I wish that was the only activity today.
He said he wishes that was the only activity today. Sev is gathering some junk from things that we took out of our shed. That's our shed. I don't think anyone's really ever been back here to see this, but this is our shed. This is where we are building the chicken coop, the hen house, and that's looking back towards our house. Kids' climbers are over here. And this is kind of just a log pile. We don't really have a lot of plants in our backyard right now, so in order to try to give a place for some snakes and insects and different things to live, I started this log pile back here a couple years ago, and we just kind of just toss logs when we have them from the trees or something back there, so just to give them a little place to be. Anyway, we are going to be working on framing out. What are we doing, honey? You're framing out the chicken run. for the hen house. So that's the goal for the weekend, is to get their run framed out. And the boys
Mama, I'm going to ask
go,
you a
hold on,
question.
Mace.
Do you want
What?
to play person run away from monster?
Do I want to play run away from the monster?
No, person run away from the monster. You can be the monster, we'll be the person who's running away from the monster.
Oh, so do I chase you if I'm the monster?
Yep.
I chase you and you run away from me?
Yeah.
Okay. Why don't we finish the compost bin and then we can do that. And I'll wrap up this video. All right, cool. So we're going to play Persons Run Away from the Monster as soon as we finish layering in our browns and adding our greens. So yeah, all right, there's that. Say bye, Sevy. Bye, guys. All right, there was my super exciting bin. There's nothing that exciting about compost, y'all. We're just gonna try to break down some stuff, let it rot back there, and feed it right back to our garden. I hope you guys will consider doing the same. Don't be scared about compost. Don't be afraid that it's gonna be stinky. If it's stinky, you probably just need to add some more brown matter to it, some more carbon, some leaves, some cardboard, some newspaper. That's probably all it is. Don't put your fish and your meat out there. There are a lot of people that do that. I would consider them more experienced composters, and I would just steer clear of that myself because I don't want to attract too many things, and I'm a newbie, so I'm not trying to get that complicated. Composting isn't complicated, so let's keep it simple. I hope that you will be inspired to try this in your own yard. Make a little space, put it on the side of the house. Doesn't have to be fancy, doesn't have to be hard. I'm gonna go continuing inside to get some things done and some things packed up to get the camper ready for our camping trip. I hope you guys have an awesome afternoon. I hope that you are finding all the things that make you happy, all the things that bring you joy, the things that make your heart sing, that you're doing more of that, being kind to yourself and being kind to each other. We'll talk to you another day, friends. Take care. Bye.